Hey everyone, this is Jim Grzanzio from the Oracle Groundbreakers team, and we're back in Pune, India. And I'm here with Raj Rathee. Raj, welcome.
Thank you, Jim. Nice to be here.
It's really good to be here too. I'm glad you guys corrected me in the speaker room because I was saying Pune wrong. I kept on saying Pune, which is actually incorrect. So anyway, we are here at the Oracle offices in Pune, and Raj, you work at Oracle. You're senior product manager. I'm sorry, senior director for product management.
That's right. Yeah.
And you're a speaker on the tour, and you're going through the entire tour, so all 10 cities, right? So let's start off with a little bit of a review on what you're talking about on the tour.
Okay. So what I'm responsible for product management is Oracle database in memory. At least that's one of the areas that I'm responsible for, along with some other areas. So as part of the tour, I'm primarily focusing on Oracle database in memory, which is one of the newer capabilities within the Oracle database. So I have 2 sessions that I'm presenting pretty much at all the 10 different locations. One of the sessions I talk about provides a comprehensive overview of Oracle database in memory. So all the features, the architecture, the use cases, and so on. And then the second session is designed for somebody who's actually trying to implement database in memory. So walking them through the first steps, what to think about in terms of the workload, how to plan for what objects to be in memory, and so on. So those 2 sessions, I'm hoping, will give pretty much an end-to-end coverage for database in memory, both for somebody who's new as well as somebody who has the background but is now taking the next step to implementing Oracle database in memory.
Okay, so one of the things I've noticed about these sessions that you guys do, you have a couple of sessions, a couple different presentations, but you guys give multiple talks, per day. And so I've seen 2 or 3 and sometimes 4. I think, this is an exhausting thing. And you coming from California, actually, right? So you guys, these speakers are working really, really hard to deliver these, sessions here. What drives you? I mean, what is this? Is this something that you just love to do? Because this is not easy work.
Well, the major driver really for me personally is the success of our products. As part of the product management team, we're responsible for making sure that we are building the right products that meets the customer's needs, as well as making sure that once the product is there, we are evangelizing about the product, making sure customers know about it, making sure customers understand the best practices around it so they can most readily deploy it. So that, at the end of the day, is the primary driver, is to ensure the success of the product itself. And then the secondary driver is really more, I would say, at a personal nature. When you go out and talk about your product, when you engage with your end customers, of course, it's very interesting, it's very exciting to be talking to customers who either are using your product or will be using your product, but also it also serves the secondary purpose that you get a lot of feedback as well, especially from customers who are at an advanced stage. They can provide you deep insights. From a product management perspective, one of the important roles that we have is to take the outside view back to the development, making sure that the investments we are making on the product are in the right direction. So that's very important. So it's both from a job perspective, that doing what I'm supposed to do for my job, in terms of making sure the right product is being built, making sure it's being evangelized. But it's also very personally satisfying when you are talking to the end users, and all of a sudden the effort the development organization is putting in is actually being realized live there with our customers and their workloads, and they're able to solve complex problems that they're having. So those are really the drivers. Travel is okay. I mean, I'm personally not a big traveler per se, but I think it just makes it worth it at the end of the day when you realize that as part of these 10 cities, I'm sure we must be covering, let's say, 2,000 to 3,000 people across the board. So across 10 events, we are talking to that number of people. And it's not just it's not just the end customers. Also, what I see here is that there there are a lot of students as well. So folks who are not even using the product, but are very curious to learn about Oracle and Oracle's technologies and technology in general. So it's an opportunity for us to talk to somebody who will be hopefully an Oracle user maybe 3, 4, 5 years down the road. And the level of enthusiasm that I see in the students is extremely high. In fact, in some cases, they're the ones who are asking the most questions.
Exactly.
So that's very satisfying, right? All of a sudden, you're talking to this new generation of folks who are interested in your technology and are just curious to learn about everything that they can. So that's.
And it's not only the fact that the tour is generating 2,000 or 3,000 people live, but we're reaching tens of thousands more on social media.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, if you see by the number of tweets and Facebook posts, it's amazing how as soon as things are happening, folks around the world are commenting on those tweets and learning about what's going on here. Some of the folks, some of the speakers as well, and some of the other folks are very active on social media. And as soon as the events are happening, and there's selfies being taken, tweets and Facebook posts being posted, it's like everything happening in real time, and a lot of people around the world who are connected with us on Facebook or on Twitter or even LinkedIn, they're getting to see what's going on, and hopefully later on when we do events in their cities as well, and then they'll be able to participate live in one of the groundbreaker tours that we would do in those other countries as well.
You mentioned feedback. One of the things that we try and do here is this is not just a one-way, conference. We try and obviously have conversations. There's lots of hallway conversations. There's lots of questions in the sessions as well. One of the things we're trying to do is to tell the developers, as you mentioned, a lot of these guys are actually very young, is that their feedback matters. When we're talking about community building, we're talking about contributing to communities, whether it's documents or source code or just feedback on it, actually on the use of a product. Are you finding that when your conversations, your hallway conversations, that they're understanding the fact that their voice actually matters? Oh,
absolutely. I actually tailor my presentations themselves so that I get a lot of feedback right in the sessions, because there's so much stuff going on. I don't even want to rely on the whole of the conversations because folks are running between one session to the other session. So one of the things I've done is when I present, I'm not trying to rush through slides. I mean, I know we can do slide after slide, but my purpose usually is to engage the audience and try to make sure that the time they're spending in the session is being rewarded by them understanding the content and having the clarity. Outside, sometimes they grab hold of us. Either they have technical questions sometimes, and they ask technical questions about the product itself, or sometimes they're just curious about other things at Oracle. How are things shaping up? Many of them are curious about how their careers can be shaped over time, especially with a lot of Oracle spending a lot of resources around marketing autonomous. In some cases, a lot of the DBAs, they might think, oh, what does that mean for our careers? If will autonomous overtake? Right. So those kind of questions come up, or generally career kind of related questions. Okay, what should I do? Is this a good field? Oh, you're in product management. What kind of work do you do? So that's also an opportunity for us to engage different folks at a non-technical level, at a more of a personal level, and also build relationships that way as well. Most of those folks eventually connect to us on LinkedIn or Twitter, and then in some ways it's an ongoing conversation that we can engage with them even when we are not here and physically have left after the events.
That's another thing I've noticed is that a lot of these guys either were focused only on LinkedIn or only on Twitter, and they start to join the other network as well. As soon as we say, hey, Twitter and LinkedIn and Facebook and these kinds of things, they're not just for sharing photographs. You're creating real networks, in terms of your career, and they join right up, and they're out there, pounding away.
It's amazing how many new folks have joined Twitter, right? After we talked about it and say, hey, you need to tweet, right. and then we see many tweets from folks who've just joined on that specific day. So it's absolutely working.
And one of the things I've been telling people is that especially Twitter in the West is very much a part of the engineering communities there, and so if they want to connect with these communities in the West, Twitter is really the way to go. So, well, anyway, Raj, thank you very much. You're a brave man to do all 10 tours. I'm only doing 6. I'm sorry, all 10 cities. I'm only doing 6, but that's all I can handle. So, any final words?
No, I mean, the 10 cities, honestly, yes, it's challenging, it's demanding physically, but I think mentally it's actually, we get back more than what we're physically stressed out about. It's just been an opportunity. I think it's an opportunity personally for us to be able to come down and it's a beautiful country. In my case, it's my home country.
Where are you from?
So I live near Delhi. At least my parents live near Delhi right now. I technically am an American resident and citizen, but I have lived in India as a child, and my parents live there near Delhi. So this is also an opportunity for me to visit my parents. But yeah, like I said, it's the energy that we get from the audience here. It's just way more rewarding than worrying about the physical challenges of traveling between multiple cities and just the overall exhausting nature of the tour. But I'm thrilled. I'm very happy. I'm very thankful to all the folks who have been showing up, the attendees, and also the local folks like Sai and the AIOG team who have gone to remarkable extents organizing and making it a very seamless experience for a lot of us international speakers. So a big thank you to you, Jim, as well as the other members of the team and the AIOG team that have put in enormous amounts of efforts in pulling this off. Thank you so much.
Cool. Well, you're welcome, and thank you, and welcome home. And okay, guys, thanks a lot. This is Jim Grzanzio from Pune, India. We'll be back with more shortly. Bye-bye.